guys, and welcome back to this new video. Today we are going to talk about 10 possibly unknown, possibly known, we don't know, let us know, unknown facts about Winston Churchill. Let's start. So number 1, he was the son of Lord Randolph Churchill, who was in turn the third son of the Duke of Marlborough. And he married meaning his father married an American woman who was the daughter Jenny Durham, and she was the daughter of a wealthy financier. At the time, this sort of combinations of wealth were pretty common, so they had 2 kids. One was Winston Churchill, born in 1874. The other one was Jack, born in 1818, so 6 years apart. Her mother went on after a while. The relationship with the husband soured, and her mother went on and had 2 other marriages. The kind of like weird fact, if we could call it weird, but the weird fact about this was that she picked twice men that were about 20 years younger than herself. So, you know, that was her mother's choice. Anyway, Winston Churchill. Point number 2. He almost did not make it for the military career. Okay, so as a student, he wasn't excelling at anything except for history and English literature. He was inept, as articles and books describe him, at foreign languages, and the rest was kind of like off. In a sense, he didn't like it or he wasn't good at it. So Winston Churchill failed twice the test to enter the military school he wanted to go to. And then the third, he was able to pass just because he had been training by a military sort of officer teacher. So he passed, but he made it for cavalry, not for infantry. And infantry was more difficult because it required a higher score. So he made it to cavalry. Point number 3. Because of that, and because of a particular law, so that in the UK at the time, one could hold a dual role, that of a journalist and that of a military officer. He was sent to Cuba, where he was acting up on those 2 roles. Traveled to Cuba, and then eventually he traveled to South Africa. Here he was captured by Boers that were kind of descendants from the Dutch, and there he was kept prisoner. He decided at a certain point with other 2 people that then over the course of this escape just went back, but he decided to scale the wall, climb it out and escape. He managed to do that, ended up in a mine shaft, and then from there to a house of a British lord. Then the British lord sent him on a wool-filled sort of truck to Mozambique. Then from Mozambique, Winston Churchill was able to go back to South Africa, and then there basically he landed on the first page of the major newspapers, and so he gained some popularity. Fact number 4. He entered Parliament in 1900, and then from there he basically stayed in power for a very, very long time. He was kicked out just right after the Second World War, returned as a prime minister in 1951, and then after 3 years and a half was kicked out again from Parliament, from the position of prime minister. Point number 5. He did not like the idea of autonomy for India. For India and for any other British colony. So he said and made some remarks on Gandhi being this, kind of fakir that is very well known in the East. But he also said the same thing or something very similar about Dervishes, Zulus, Afghans. He described the last three populations as savages and Berbers, right? And so not very diplomatic, if you like, in his comments. In 1940s, over the course of 6 months, he gave four, I think, of his most famous speeches. One that will always remain in the history of rhetoric, but also in the history of Great Britain and Europe in general, would be the speech where he said, "I have nothing to offer at this point in time but blood, tears and sweat," inviting all the people to defend the borders, to defend the autonomy of Great Britain and the concept of freedom in Europe against the assault of Nazi Germany. Point number 7, in one other speech later on, he referred to the bloc, the Western bloc against the Russian bloc, as this iron curtain. And so this expression has been used many times since then, and it is of his own making. Point number 8. Point number 8 is that he was a Nobel Prize winner. He won Nobel Prize, and he didn't win it for peace, as often happens or sometimes happens to politicians, but he won it because he was a splendid writer. The Nobel Prize is for literature, and he received that in 1953 for exalting human values. Point number 9. He suffered from depression. And that was, what he referred to as the black dog. But for the rest, he was a very active man, and also somebody who would walk a lot, would do many things, would not sleep. Probably he also was curing some of his depression with amphetamines of sorts, and that is why he was able to endure rhythms that were absolutely absurd. But anyway, he was a very active man, but sometimes suffered from depression. Point number 10 is, well, it's kind of like point 9.2, if we like. Now, we also know that to cure his depression, he used to take at least 2-3 baths every single day. Baths were his favorite things in the world, if we may say so. So baths would relax him, would let him think, and strategize even better. And finally, point number 10, we got to how prone to accidents Winston Churchill was. This is kind of a hilarious thing to think about this, but yeah. So he suffered from a concussion, a ruptured kidney. He almost drowned in a Swiss lake. He fell several times from horses. Dislocated his shoulder disembarking from a ship in India. Crashed a plane, this one I don't know. Hit by a car in New York apparently. But only died at the age of 90 due to a stroke. That's it, guys. Those were 10 unknown, possibly unknown facts about Winston Churchill. So let us know what you think. Comment below. Let us know if you knew any of this, and if you didn't, what was the thing that surprised you the most? Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. We'll talk some more next time on a new different topic. In the meantime, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment below, and of course hit the notification bell so to receive updates Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being with me. We'll talk some more next time.